I would say it was about 6 months after the triathlon. She was doing winter swimming, and she was exercising constantly. We couldn't figure out like why anyone would want to exercise as much as she was doing, and that she wasn't eating properly and she was losing weight and she hadn't grown in a long time. And it was a realization that happened over time. It wasn't a light bulb.
Tori is going to be 17. She's a pretty active, normal kid growing up until she got sick. Really into sports, very competitive. Compared herself to a lot of other kids, which caused a little bit of a problem. But I think really just really competitive with sports, and I think that kind of put a lot of pressure on her.
There was never really like a moment that kind of made me realize that I didn't like the way I looked, but it wasn't really about appearance. It was more like competitiveness and like wanting to achieve goals and stuff.
An obsession with food in general, the making of it, the ingredients, when the person is going to eat, excessive exercise, just a constant movement. Like for instance, just sitting in a chair, which she would have to be moving, tapping, anything to expend energy. And isolation, social isolation.
It was brought by surprise. My parents kind of took over and took me to the hospital. Well, I didn't ask them for help. They kind of went to me, and I didn't. My first hospitalization, I didn't really classify myself as like an anorexic. It kind of just like hit me that maybe that was the true reality. I was in school and my mom just picked me up and told me I had a doctor's appointment, but she ended up actually taking me to Princeton. And that's when I stayed there for like 3 months probably. But it all just came by surprise. Like I didn't ask for it or anything. When I got there, I was like, oh yeah, I'll leave and everything will be fine. But that led to like 20 plus more hospitalizations there. And by the end of it, even when I was at like a okay weight to go home, they still didn't let me go home because they knew I would just lose it all if I went home. So they kind of just kept me there as long as possible, and I was basically on like a lockdown. Like it was nothing.
Tori is smart, happy typically when she was younger. She still is happy now. She's creative, witty, and a really thoughtful person who tries very hard to do the best that she can, and sometimes she tries too hard.
So after the 3 years of doing that, it kind of just hit me because I finally hit like a hard rock bottom, like my lowest ever, and it just like made me realize that I didn't want to live that way anymore.
It's pretty much the same issue as anyone who has a child that's sick, and you have to do everything you can to make them better. Her life's improved greatly. She's able to go to school. She's able to have friends, social activities. She can have a conversation with us. It's night and day.
You're always gonna, once you develop it, it kind of just sticks with you for like essentially the rest of your life, but the disease isn't your choice, but it's your choice to overcome the feelings and emotions that come with it.